Hi guys, this is this is from a M103 Mercedes engine. It's the same for the 3 liter 2.6 as well. This is out of a 124, but it doesn't make a difference. It could be in a 126, it could be in a 201, 190 each chassis. Even the 300 SL, it could be in that as well. I wanted to just show everyone, anyone who's interested in this, doing this to their car, which is actually rebuilding their fuel distributor. This is the fuel distributor, right? This is the underneath part. This is the upper part, right? You probably see if you look at how people describe the procedure and all that stuff. They tell you a lot, like about the internal parts which are on either side, which obviously, once you open the upper part, this upper part here is separate from the bottom part here. All the springs and all, there's a lot of little parts in there, which there's plenty of manuals and diagrams online about that, right? So you probably don't need me to tell you that, but you have to keep it well aligned and just keep checking it as you lower, as you've already, once you've already replaced everything and you're starting to close it up again. That's the main problem. Keeping everything lined up properly, all the springs in the right places, perfectly straight. The O-rings, there are 6 little O-rings around these around the barrel, which is in the center of the distributor. Once you open it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Those O-rings, you have to keep checking that they haven't fallen off, because I actually closed this off yesterday, opened it today, very gently, kept looking, and I found, even without opening the whole thing, I could see that one O-ring had already fallen off as I had assembled it yesterday. And I didn't actually know that, and obviously I put it in the car. There was a problem, car's not starting. It started initially and it was running very badly, and after I just didn't want to start. That's not the only problem, I think. The main purpose of this video actually is, obviously this video is just to give you like the problems that I had. It's not an actual manual, it's just a heads up, because you've got loads of manuals online. You see this part here, right? This plunger, this moves up and down, right? Up and down. So that plunger right there, you see this screw, it looks like a screw, yeah? It's the shape, this thing in the middle, looks like a screw going across. That twists in and out. So you can twist, you can screw it in and you can screw it out. You screw it in more, it will reduce the length that the plunger, the how much the plunger drops. Now, the more the plunger drops, that's less petrol going into your engine, into your mixture, fuel mixture. All right. So if you don't tighten this to the correct 0.6 millimeter depth, which you can probably, is so tiny, but you see how small it, you can kind of see the depth, right? Well, let's see if it can focus. You see the depth of the screw compared to this outer washer. You see inside here? Look, if you see that, it's 0.6. You could probably, if you measure it with you need one of these digital calipers, which I'm actually not impressed with this one. Can just focus on it. Rubbish one from eBay. Honestly, it wasn't even correctly calibrated. Remember, but when you start using this, right, you see that part sticking out. Put it on a flat, smooth surface like this. Okay. All right, and then you flatten it down like this. You see, right now, that's saying that it's 0.5 depth when it's actually 0. Alright, so you've got to press 0 like this to make sure you're getting the right reading. That was another thing that I found when I did my one initially, because I didn't calibrate this. The depth of my nut, this nut here, sorry, not the nut, this screw thing in here, this little screw inside, alright, inside the nut, the nut is separate from this inner screw. My actual depth was 0.3. That's before I dismantled it, right? It was actually 0.3, but because my reading was off by 0.3, it was adding 0.3, so I thought mine was 0.6. And the actual factory setting, alright, when you finish and everything, it should be 0.6 anyway. And so I thought, that was correct. Mine was actually 0.3, so I got the wrong reading. And so obviously the plunger, because I hadn't screwed it in enough, the plunger was coming down by an additional 0.3 millimeters, which means there was less fuel going into the into the fuel air mixture. So I think that's probably what my problem was. Obviously I'll confirm that tomorrow, but I'm pretty certain that the O-ring falling off and this not the plunger not coming out to the correct the maximum protrusion, I think that was the main problem. Other than that, the manuals that you see online, they'll explain everything to you. You just have to be very gentle when you start separating the upper and the lower. I mean, you probably separate like this, right? The good thing about this one is that there's these little ridges, you see right here. See where my thumb is here? There's a ridge there, right? It's like a protrusion. You could stick your finger in there, and on the other side there's another one. There. Where is it? You see? And luckily this one actually came apart very, very easily. I didn't have to heat it. No hairdryer, no heat gun, nothing. I just gently just started moving it, and believe it or not, once I opened it, there was absolutely no wear. Nothing was worn out. The gasket, the diaphragm was perfect condition, no holes. Honestly, I've got a feeling that this was either rebuilt or someone replaced it before I bought the car. Like maybe a few years ago, because I've owned the car for a few years now. Maybe about 10 years or so. It didn't look like something that's 25, 26 years old. And you buy the set off eBay. eBay USA, not eBay UK. The seller is called, let me check, CIS, what do they call it again? Flowtech or something, let me find out. CIS Jetronic, oh no, Precision Machinery or CIS Jetronic, anyway, you'll see it on eBay. Just type fuel distributor rebuild kit, and you should either write M103 or write 300E or write 124, w124, and you'll find out. Let me think of anything else. Yeah, apart from that, man, you keep everything clean. You know, you spray all this stuff with the carb cleaner, and I actually sprayed it, but I was holding it upside down like this so that I don't let the dirt go inside these holes, right? There's little bits of dirt there from your injector hoses, fuel hoses. So the good thing is to spray it, but hold it upside down so that the dirt comes downwards. You don't spray it and force it inwards even more, and then you start causing blockages. Apart from that, I don't have any other advice. Hope this video is useful to someone. There are a lot of instruction manuals, and there's one particular one that is really good, and that is the actual one. The seller that is called Precision, I think they're called Precision Machinery or CIS Jetronic, I can't remember, on eBay. They have a link on their actual eBay page that takes you to an absolutely very accurate description of the procedure, which the one that I followed. But I just felt if these couple of pointers are made a bit clear, I mean, it's no one's fault or nothing. You learn it from doing it. I would have saved saved a bit of heartache, because I had to take it back out of the car again, and I needed to drive the car today, so a bit of a headache there. But well done to the people who create the instruction manuals, amazing, and it's very, very generous of them actually, because they don't actually have to do that. But the quality of the parts are very good, and as far as I know, I've seen quite a few people have actually bought this kit from the same seller. If you're very good at mechanical things, and you're good at details, which is the thing about this job, you need to be a bit delicate and good with details and pay a lot of attention. You keep checking, you just turn it around. What I actually did was I actually put it, you see this box, I made a hole in the middle, right? And then I put the distributor on like this, and I just kept spinning it so that I can check everything, check all the springs are still there in the right place, all the valve heads, the valve, what do you call it, ceramic caps and all that stuff, all these little, you'll see all the parts in there. Checking everything's alright, the O-rings on the barrel are still in the right place. So you just keep turning it and checking and get a strong flashlight, like this very strong one. This one's from Walmart, so it was like $15 or something like that. Very, very, very strong. That's all you need to do. You just do that. Make sure the gasket, the diaphragm, when you put the diaphragm on, you'll know I'm talking about the big, the diaphragm that goes on top of all of the, I can't remember the name of all the components, on top of the little caps. You know what I'm talking about, it's the black part, the big black rubber part. You have to make sure you put that on the right way around, because every single hole, make sure the gasket is not blocking one of the holes accidentally, because you can accidentally put it on the other way around without checking all the holes. So you have to check all the holes and make sure the gasket is not blocking, so the gasket is correctly aligned with every hole. Check it before you start the job, check it before you close it all up, because you do not want to put this back in your car and you start doubting, have I blocked the holes, is that why it's not working? You need to know that you're doing stuff properly. I did quite a few videos for myself just to make sure that, you know, how I did it, and make sure that I follow. I just put it back in the same way that I took it apart, basically. Because if you're first time doing it, man, honestly, you're going to be thinking, did I do this wrong? Did I do that wrong? You're going to be banging your head against the wall if the car's not working. So it's at least good to know that you've ruled out every single thing, and then maybe you might be limited to one thing that could be the fault if the car's not running properly. One word of advice I would say is, do not start this and then hope that you're going to drive your car tomorrow or even within a couple of days, because you might end up having some problems. You might put it back together incorrectly, and you're going to be wishing you never touched it. So make sure you've got a few days where you don't actually need the car, because there's always something that goes wrong. Always. It's like 9 times out of 10 something's going to go wrong. You have to take it back out of the car, you know. So I'm just trying to help you, anyone in the viewers, you know, anyone viewing this video. And yeah, good luck. Thank you. Bye.